It's time now for our AL.com questions of the week. If you have a question for Coach Gus Malzahn, go to AL.com/Tiger Talk and submit your question each week, and it could be asked live on the show. Visit AL.com/Tiger Talk to submit your question. Our first one comes from Gerald in Daphne, Coach, and his biggest question is the H-back position and how it can continue to be improved over time with the game time experience, more practice, and just what are your thoughts on how that position has been played so far?
Yeah, of course, we lost Jay Prosh, one of the better fullbacks, to ever be in our offense. Mm-hmm. And, Fultz has done a solid job. He's a very physical guy at the point of attack. C.J. Uzama, he's more of a tight end, but he's really done a solid job when he's been in there. So, we're just kind of playing both those guys from time to time, just trying to really play to their strengths.
How does the role, and I think we've talked about this on a few different occasions, how is that H-back and that role a little different without a Jay Prosh? Because you don't have those guys are one in a million.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Well, both these guys have more of the ability to stretch the field, down the field, and all that. Mm-hmm. But they're both physical guys, and they've both been sufficient so far.
All right. Next question comes from Auburn Tiger, and talks about Mississippi State's Dak Prescott, who's the quarterback, obviously, and running back Josh Robinson. Says, remind many of Cam Newton and Mike Dyer. How does the defense slow down these two and keep them from taking over the game? Is Mississippi State more dangerous passing or running the football?
Well, I tell you what, they can do both, and that's probably the biggest challenge. The quarterback is just like another running back. I mean, he's an excellent runner, but he's throwing the ball so well this year, and he's very good with his play action, his accuracy, whether it's man or zone, and I'm very impressed with him.
Does he remind you at all of Cam in terms of just his physicality at quarterback and ability to run the football? I mean, I know you don't want to. I mean, Cam was special.
Yeah. I tell you what, he's got some similarities.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt. He's a big physical guy that, a lot of times on short yardage, he'll find a way to get it. And but he's big physical.
All right, let's go to the Academy Sports and Outdoors inbox and go to Wilburn. Talking about the defense, Coach. Defense played great. First, they seemed to give up a lot of yards on first down, but got much better. What kind of adjustments did you guys make in that department?
Well, we were preparing for the young quarterback, and, I really felt like he was going to do a little bit more shotgun stuff. That's kind of what we thought, but they ran their traditional offense, and so, our guys did a good job adjusting to that and, finding a way to put pressure on the young quarterback.
Well, and talking about adjustments, I mean, that's been a strong suit of Ellis Johnson and you guys. I mean, anything, and whether it's minor or drastic adjustments, it seems like you've been able to make them.
Well, Ellis has been doing this a long time. He's seen every offense, known to man. So, he can really make adjustments, and that's definitely one of his strengths.
All right. Academy Sports and Outdoors inbox question now from Robert. Says, War Eagle, Coach, will you elaborate on how long Nick Ruffin will not be available to play? Is he back from Mississippi State? And from what I understand, he is back. It was just
right.
The rest of that game, right, Coach?
Right. Yeah, that's correct. It was a tough. It was a tough, hit.
Yeah,
and it was a bang deal. It was kind of unfortunate. And Nick's a freshman, and he's very aggressive, and he'll learn from it, and he'll be better the next time.
It's a balance for those guys. You want them to be aggressive out there, don't you?
Yeah, and he's a lot of freshmen. Wouldn't even be in that situation to be physical, and he was very physical. But he has really played well for us, and has done a very solid job for us.
Why do you think that is? Why has he been able to so quickly as a freshman kind of jump in at that position, Coach?
My experience is some freshmen just get out there and it's natural for him, and he really seems natural, and he's a great competitor.
And while he hasn't probably played quite as much, Stephen Roberts kind of seems to be that kind of guy as well as a freshman.
Yeah, he really does. You can just tell by his body language, his stance. I mean, he looks like a veteran guy out there, and, the moment's not too big for him. He wants to be out there. He's wanting to be out there in a big moment. And that's half the battle when you're a freshman, the mental part. A lot of freshmen can play physically, but it's just hard to handle everything mentally. Staying
with the defense, and Casanova McKenzie, and obviously, was injured in the La Tech game. Was right up to the day of before you knew whether he could play, but man, he jumped right in there.
Yeah, he
just jumped right in there.
He did. He's a big physical guy that can run. He's got great instincts, and of course, him and Chris. I mean, both those guys are playmakers, and just did an excellent job with not a whole lot of practice during the week.
How important will those guys be? Those two linebackers be? against Mississippi State this weekend.
Well, I think, definitely. I mean, they're very good at running the football, so our front seven is going to be very critical. At the same time, our secondary is going to be challenged too.
It's a balanced attack. I tell you, just a great matchup between two teams that have been very, very balanced so far this season. We'll be on the air at 12:30 Central with the broadcast from Davis Wade Stadium in Starkville. So make sure you tune in this weekend. We've got more with Coach, more questions coming up as well. We'll continue to talk about the matchup between Auburn and Mississippi State. Just want to tell you now, though, that Victory Grill is our location for Tiger Talk. We'll be there again next Monday night at 7. We hope you'll join us while you're there. Enjoy a great variety of made-from-scratch menu items to go along with the Auburn-themed atmosphere and the over 70 flat screens to enjoy any sporting event. The home of great food, great fun that will be a hit for the entire family. Stay tuned. You're listening to Tiger Talk.